Yeah, I mean, I think, as Ange Postecoglou said there, yeah, as well as can be expected, but there's always room for improvement across the board. From our own governing bodies, from PFA Scotland, from players, from individual football clubs, from society in general, from football fans. We can always do better, Paul. We're a long way from the finished article, but we are making progress.
Barry?
Yeah, listen, I think one thing I will say about show racism and red card, I think they do a brilliant job, but I don't think they get enough backing or enough funding. That has been an issue. You've heard them speak about it. And I agree with Postecoglou. I thought the Kyogo incident, bang, it was done within a day or two, and that's the way it should be done. But it just worries me we're ever going to get rid of it, because I'm sick of some of the things that I see that go on. It just I don't know, it just saddens me.
And Eastern Europe has a really poor track record, as we know, guys, haven't they? And UEFA don't seem to cover themselves in glory, and they turn a blind eye.
They're not decisive enough. They're not consistent enough, as a governing body. And it always comes around, Paul. It really comes to the fore at every international break. So we've got one coming up again. And you're going to find 3 or 4 nations again are going to let themselves down. We could probably put the kettle on for which nations it's going to be. But UEFA are just not strong enough. When it comes to things like that, I think they're far too weak.
And it affects the players so badly. It must be horrendous if you are racially abused or sectarian abuse or whatever. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah, I was watching a thing on Sky. It was a non-league player. His team, he get racially abused, and his team agreed to walk off.
Good.
And the league authorities are punishing the team for walking off.
You're kidding.
Now, I'm a manager. If I heard or seen one of my players getting racially abused, if they felt it was right to walk off, I would support that.
So you would say 100% behind the players?
Yeah, I would leave it up to them.
Right.
And if they made a joint decision, I would back that, because I'm getting sick of it, like everybody. It just happens, as Mark mentioned there, every international or every week you're hearing something. When is it ever going to stop?
Barry Ferguson calling it out, and quite rightly, Mark, isn't it? And that's powerful. Show racism, the red card, and Barry just did that there, and I hope other managers would follow. But it's especially, there are so many things go wrong, but in Scotland I think we're doing well on the racism. We are calling it out. We're not standing for it.
Yeah, we're getting there, Paul. Like I said, there's progress, but there's a long way to go. But there is progress, and I think Barry's point as well, more money needs to be put into it. More money needs to be put into education, and more money needs to put into raising awareness about it. It can't just be a couple of times a year when it's show racism, the red card weekend, or we just react because a certain country or a certain team has to do so. We need to be consistent. We need to hammer the message home every week on these kind of platforms, football clubs, everywhere. It can't just be every now and again. That's not good enough.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.